All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our pre-camp announcements for the Wild Goose Trail Festival training camp that is happening tomorrow. Today is Thursday, May 8th, and the camp is happening on Friday, May 9th, and Saturday, May 10th, 2025 at Wawayanda State Park. We're stoked for this. This is an inaugural event for us. We're giving this a shot. It is a training camp, and the purpose is to allow folks to come out and preview the course, meet other people, get comfortable with the layout of Wawayanda State Park, get the opportunity to do some night running on Friday evening, and then Saturday checking out the rest of the course. So we sent out a email yesterday. Basically what today is going to be is just working through that email, doing a little visual of it, and then this recording will be available after it wraps up. And we're also going to publish the audio onto our podcast. So giving you lots of opportunities to check this out. If reading is not your style, we are all about helping all different learning styles. Personally, I like to listen to announcements. So, we're putting it all out there. So let's start working our way through the announcements. The first thing we're going to talk about is an update on the weather situation. You may or may not have been stalking the weather. I'm assuming that you have been if you're coming to the camp this weekend. Yesterday, when I sent out the email, the weather looked a little bit different than it's shaping up to be this evening. So I've been checking out the hourly forecast for Wawayanda State Park, and it shouldn't be a surprise, but it looks like we're going to get some weather this weekend. So there is a likelihood that it's going to be a little wet on Friday evening, and we might get some rain overnight. Possible that we'll have some rain in the morning on Saturday. It's Wawayanda State Park, so we always joke that there's always something. There's always something, but we can say confidently it's not going to be a tropical storm like Tropical Storm Ophelia was in 2023 for Wild Goose. It probably won't be like last year, 2024, where it was spectacular weather and blue skies and sunny. I think we're going to get a little mix, a little bit of some moisture overnight, and then hopefully it's going to clear out on Saturday. So all that being said is come prepared for the rain, especially if you're going to be camping overnight. You're welcome to stick with the tent camping setup, but if you would prefer to do your car camping, that's totally cool. And also, if you're seeing the weather and you're like, I'm not really into that camping situation, that is also totally fine. You can make change your plans and come on just Saturday. Or if you're local, you can come Friday evening, hang out, and then head back home to sleep and come back on Saturday. Whatever floats your boat. We just want to get out there and provide the opportunity for you to join us. So one benefit of the weather situation is that you do get to practice. So you get to practice what it's like if you're going to be doing a tent setup at Wild Goose Trail Festival in September. This is a great opportunity to practice setting up your tent. If there's some weather, it's good practice to setting it up in, hopefully it's not raining once we get there, but if the rain does come overnight, this is a good opportunity to practice your gear. So you can practice your full setup for the Wild Goose Trail Festival in September. And you couldn't really ask for a better opportunity to do that. See how I'm spinning this? It's all about how you're looking at it here. So the biggest thing to communicate to you all is your tents have to be staked down. The weather forecast on paper is not calling for high winds, but where we are setting up at Wawayanda is right next to the lake, Wawayanda Lake, and there's always wind coming off of the lake. So you definitely got to stake down your tents if you're using any form of a tent, whether it's a pop-up canopy or it's a traditional camping tent. Please make sure you staked it down. Otherwise, it will go flying. And tents don't have a good survival rate at Wawayanda if they are not staked down. So take the time to check your gear kit before you make the drive out here. Make sure you got stakes in there. We do have a couple of hammers and mallets in the Squatch van that you're welcome to use if you don't have that accessible. We will have that ready for you. So make sure your tents are staked. All right, give me 1 second. I am going to share my screen, and we're going to start working through the announcements. So I'm going to pause 1 second here. It's very crucial that you guys arrive at the park via Warwick Turnpike. Um, Open up our website on the Wild Goose Trail Festival. The handbook is really good. It gives you a good visual. We've been working with people to try to get this communicated the most effectively and clearly possible every year coming to Wawayanda, whatever event it is. We usually have people that end up at the auxiliary gate, and we understand it's frustrating. So we're trying to do a better job of just really reiterating that you got to look at your phone before you start driving. Make sure it brings you in on Warwick Turnpike and not in through the Barry Lakes residential area. My phone number is listed on all of the emails and the website. So if you want to talk this through before tomorrow, it's totally cool. Shoot me a text. Whatever you need to do, I'd be happy to walk through it with you. Okay, so let's keep moving along. Let me pull up my notes here. Hold on one second. Uno mas. Here we go. Okay. All right. So for the schedule on Friday, you're going to arrive around 5 p.m. We're going to be ready to check you in. Our volunteers are going to be there. It's a really small group that we have this weekend, which is very cool. We've got around 20 total people who have registered for both I think there's about 17 that have signed up for both days and a couple who have signed up for just Saturday. So it's very cool. I'm excited that it's a small group. We're going to get to know each other pretty well. But when you arrive, we're going to check you in. We've got some cool swag for you, these really sweet Wild Goose Trail Festival hats, a couple different ones that you can choose from. And then you've got about like an hour, hour and a half to just start setting up camp. There's no rush. We don't want you to be rushing through setting up your tent and all that. We'll be there to help out. Don't be embarrassed if this is your first time, like setting up a tent. Um, we can work together to troubleshoot. Sometimes tents are really confusing, and it's totally cool. Nothing to be embarrassed about. So if you need some help when you're setting up your tent, just grab somebody, and we can all work together to get the tents all set up. So around 6:30, we're going to be doing a little pizza party. We're bringing in some pizza from a local place in Hewitt, New Jersey. This is close to Way Onto State Park. And we're going to be hanging out for another it's not going to be till like 7:15 where we're going to start our little Q&A session. So if you have any questions about the actual race, this is your time to ask. We're going to be going over the course, talking about the race setup, just kind of getting you guys oriented with what it's going to be like in September. So that's going to be happening around 7:15 p.m. And then at 8:15, we're all going to go out and do the shortest loop, which is the checkered loop. It's 4.75 miles. And we're waiting that late so that the sun is totally done. It is dark out, and we can all practice using lighting. So if that's a headlamp, a waist lamp, whatever you got, this is your opportunity to test out that gear. And again, don't be embarrassed if you're using new stuff. This is the opportunity to use it. So if you're fumbling with like batteries or like adjusting the waist belt or the headlamp, whatever, just let's work together and we'll troubleshoot. And this is the opportunity to test some new gear. So again, we'll be headed out around 8:15 or so. We might even go out early if the skies are a little bit darker and we can get out earlier. Right now, there is no thunder lightning in the forecast. So if we do have weather, all the fingers are crossed, it's just going to be rain. If there is lightning in the forecast, we're not going to be going out on the course. We don't need to be doing that. And we will not be going out in any kind of a lightning storm. So don't worry about that. The checkered loop is about 4.75 miles. Because it's such a small group, I would love it if we all stayed together. If though you want to go out faster or if you like really want to hang back, it's totally cool. The course is marked. We have volunteers going out tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some course marking as well. But you can go at your own pace. That's the big thing we want to communicate, is that you can go at your own pace. If you want to go faster, you want to go slower, there's no pressure because the whole course is marked. So feel free to, you can go solo, you can go with friends, or if you want to stay with other people, that is totally cool as well. When we get back around 10 o'clock or so, we'll do a little bonfire, weather pending, if we're able to pull that off. Like I mentioned in our email, we're going to skip the real fire because of the weather and the winds and everything. And we're going to use our propane fire pit, which is pretty sweet. So we do have some more items that will be ready. We do have some vegan chocolate and gluten-free graham crackers and marshmallows if you got some dietary restrictions going on. So that'd be around 10. Hopefully we'll be able to pull off the fire. And then, you can you can head to bed whenever you want. Again, it's a small group, so I don't think it's going to be some kind of raging party. You know, and there's plenty of space to spread out your camping stuff, so you can get some quiet zones there. All right, so for the schedule on Saturday, we're going to be making some coffee around 7 a.m. and we're going to have the opportunity for you guys to have breakfast. So this is the meal that you're going to bring. Breakfast is so individual for people. We just wanted to simplify it, say BYO. So whatever you want to eat on Saturday morning, make sure you bring that with you. We will have coffee available with creamer, and we'll have some soy milk as well if you're non-dairy for the coffee. And then this is also the time where if you've only signed up for Saturday, you're going to check in around 7 a.m. So we'll be ready to give you your swag. And then about 8 o'clock, we're going to start getting on the course with the blue loop. So the blue loop is a 6-mile loop. We're going to start with that one first. And then once you come back after the 6 miles, you can go out onto the pink loop, which is the longest one, which is 7.75 miles. Again, like I was saying with the checkered loop, go at your own pace. You don't have to stay with a group. You can go solo. You can hang with friends. Basically, you have until 1 o'clock is when the course is technically closed. So you can get out there, and you don't have to start at 8 too. If you want to go a little bit earlier, you're welcome to do that. So basically you have from the time you get up until 1 o'clock to get the miles you want to get. We're not sweeping the checkered loop until Saturday afternoon. So if you want to get out on the checkered loop, you're welcome to do that. But again, it's up to you on your pace. Don't feel pressured to stay with people if you want to just explore on your own. We just ask that you stay on the course and don't do any further exploration beyond that, especially if you haven't been to Waiwayanda. Stay on the race course. So again, the 6 mile will be first. That's the blue loop. And then the pink loop is after that, which is 7.75 miles. So once you get back from those two loops, you would have seen the entire course. No matter what distance you're doing, all the distances are a variation of those 3 loops, checkered, blue, and pink. So we're going to go through all 3 over the course of the weekend. In that email, we sent out links to the GPX files. So a GPX file is basically like a digital map that you can load onto your watch, or you can load it onto your phone. We also include a link to the Squatch Trail School, where it's an instructional video of how you can download that GPX file and get it onto your watch or onto your phone. For every event that we do, we highly recommend you download that GPX file and make sure you've got it with you. The important thing is to make sure it's downloaded, because cell service is not great at Waiwayanda State Park. So you want to make sure you've got that GPX file on your device. All right, let's talk about food. So these are the items that we are providing on Friday and Saturday. Friday, we're doing pizza in the evening for dinner. Then we're going to have some s'mores. Hopefully, if we're able to have our fire. If not, we can have s'mores without fire. That's totally cool too. Saturday morning, we're providing hot coffee. You need to bring your own breakfast on Saturday morning. And then when you get back from the runs on Saturday morning, we will have brunch ready for you between 11:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. So brunch items include fruit, yogurt, and bagels, and we will provide that. You don't need to bring any of that. You're welcome to bring your own food if you'd prefer that. And if none of this sounds good, you're welcome to bring your own. But we will be providing brunch up until 1 p.m. We will also have Scratch Hydration. Scratch Labs is one of our sponsors. They've been with us for a number of years. So we will have a bunch of coolers of water, and then we will also have a cooler of Scratch that you can use. I think we will also have some Scratch Chews available, which is kind of like fruit snack type of thing, but really, really delicious. So those are going to be available for you to take on the run. We do encourage you to bring more of your own snacks. Again, the snacks are so personal. Bring what you like. We will have Scratch Hydration, Scratch Chews, granola bars, and fruit snacks are going to be available for you. But bring some more food items with you for the run, especially if you're going to be doing all 3 loops. You want to make sure you have enough fuel with you. We are, all of our events are cupless. So We will provide some of those paper cups for coffee in the morning, but otherwise, please bring a reusable cup with you. It'd be awesome if you want to bring your own cutlery and plates and bowls. That's great. Otherwise, we will have plates available for the pizza and the yogurt. I think we're doing individual servings of that. But if you want to bring your own stuff, that is always great. We always appreciate it. Help to reduce our overall footprint. This is a very important item. Please do not leave any food unattended at any time, and do not keep any food in your tents overnight. So, if you've read anything on our website about the Wild Goose Trail Festival, you'll know that there's definitely wildlife at Wawayanda State Park. Northern New Jersey is, in my opinion, the most beautiful part of the state. It's also home to many critters, and Wawayanda State Park definitely has some wildlife. I live about 10 minutes away from Wawayanda, so I can confirm that the bears are out. The bears are active, and they are looking for silly humans who aren't doing what they need to do with food storage. So you want to make sure that any kind of food that you have with you is stored in your locked vehicle. Especially important overnight. And definitely when we go out on our runs, make sure there's no food laying around. Keep that in a locked vehicle, in a cooler inside of your vehicle. Okay, couple miscellaneous items for Squatch HQ. Again, you can come Friday around 5 p.m. to begin setting up. We'll show you the area where you can set up your tents. And again, car camping is welcome. You do not have to do a tent setup, especially with the weather. If you're not really feeling that, it's totally cool. And again, you're welcome to do change of plans with if you want to go home, if you're local, to sleep and then come back. Or if you want to change gears and just come on Saturday, that's totally cool. We would appreciate an email if you want to give us a heads up if you are changing the plans that you have. Cell service, spotty at best throughout the park. Specifically at Squatch HQ, where we will be, we have found that the area by the playground has great service. So you might need to walk around if you need to send a text or make a phone call or whatnot. But also know that there are no power outlets available at Wawayanda, so you need to bring a way to charge your devices if you anticipate needing to charge them. So something like a battery pack where you can plug into it. But just know we don't have any power outlets available for you to plug into. So make sure you bring battery packs with you. Stake down your tent. Again, we're saying it a couple of times. Make sure if you're using a tent, it is staked down with the winds. And common sense. Don't leave valuables out when we're out running. So make sure when we go out for our run, your things are packed. I personally recommend if you want to pack up your tents in the morning on Saturday. It's not a bad idea. Chuck it in your car before we go out for the run on Saturday morning. That way you don't have to worry about anything being left out. All right, we're almost done. Let's talk about the packing list. So, what you need to bring is whatever kind of sleep setup that you are most comfortable with. So, if that's a tent setup, you got to bring whatever that is involved. So, it's tent stakes. Definitely recommend a ground tarp if you are going to be tent camping because it's likely to be wet at some point. So, you don't want to wake up inside a wet tent. So, bring a ground tarp with you, throw your tent on top of that. Personally, I'm probably bringing like a camping cot that I'm going to throw into my tent, just to stay off the ground a little bit more. If we're going to have a little weather coming in, headlamp, extra batteries. So if you're coming on Friday and Saturday, Friday we're doing that evening run. So you're going to want to have some kind of lighting for that. And then, it's always great to have a headlamp around camp so you can see what's going on. Bring a camp chair. Again, hopefully we're going to be able to do a little bonfire with our propane fire pit. And we are bringing a bunch of our big tents, like the big canopy tents that we're going to set up. So whether or not we can do the fire, we will have those tents set up and it'll be like a dry space for us to hang on Friday evening. Okay, running and hiking gear. So whatever you need to run or hike on both days, you're going to bring that with you. Recommend bringing bug spray with you. Sunscreen is always good. And then like we said before, battery pack because there's no power available at Wawayanda, and then a cup or bottle or hydration pack, and bonus points and gold stars if you bring your own cutlery and plates and stuff for the food on Friday and Saturday. Restrooms. Okay, flush toilets are available at Squatch HQ. We are going to be setting up at the boat launch. So in September at the Trail Festival, Squatch HQ is right next door at the beach where there's the big bathhouse. The bathhouse isn't open for the season yet, so we're just sliding down to the boat launch area because there are restrooms there. So when you're driving through the park, again, you're following signs for the beach, the boathouse. You're going to pass the beach and bathhouse and playground is on your right. You drive through that parking lot, continue driving around to where the road dead ends, and that is the boat launch area, and that's where we're going to be setting up. So there are restrooms there, flush toilets, running water in the sinks. We will have our menstrual products there. Shout out to Dr. Colleen Drehos, who's been providing the menstrual products for our events this year. Those will be available in the restrooms. There are no shower facilities at Wawayanda. I think actually there is a shower by the beach, but it's definitely the water is not turned on for the season. So no showers available. Definitely recommend bringing some body wipes with you and Ziplocs to pack that out. So you can do a little wipe shower if you'd like to on Friday evening. Okay, last but not least, we started talking about this, but I want to go into it in more detail, is our nature disclaimer. So again, we've got many critters at Wawayanda State Park, and that's one of the big drawing points of the Wild Goose Trail Festival is how much nature there is and how beautiful those trails are. So the big one that's probably on the forefront of everybody's mind is black bears. So like I said before, black bears are starting to be active up here in northern New Jersey. And we just want to make sure we are taking all the steps to avoid encounters with them. So keeping food stored in your vehicle, in a cooler, locked. We're not leaving food out when it's unattended. When you're out on trail, if you do see a bear, our standard protocol is you're going to make yourself as big as possible. So throw your arms in the air, start shouting, "Hey bear, hey bear." You do not want to continue advancing towards the bear. You're going to stop, slowly back away, and you're going to wait for that bear to move on. And it's going to see you 9 times out of 10 before you even see it, and it's going to be out of there. But if you do see the bear and it's taking a second to see you, give it time. Again, be big, start shouting, wave your arms in the air, and that bear is going to take off. Another common animal at Wawayanda is skunks. So we had a lot of skunk sightings last year on the course. They're not going to bother you unless you are aggressively trying to bother them, which I know you won't do. But again, all wildlife, you want to give a wide berth. You don't want to approach the animals that you see out there. You certainly don't want to mess with a skunk because you're going to stank, and nobody wants that. So there are known to be skunks around the historic furnace, which you will pass on each of the loops. So we will point that out throughout the weekend. Foxes are common at Wawayanda. The occasional porcupine is really cool if you do get the opportunity to see that at the park. Those are like one of my favorite creatures. Very, very cool. And then snakes. I personally haven't seen any snakes at Wawayanda, but I mean, they're definitely there. It's nature. So again, you're going to give all these animals a wide berth, let them move on before you move on. So again, you're going to want to make yourself big, start shouting, bear, look out, and give it the opportunity to move on. So, okay, I think that is pretty much all of the information that we covered in the email. We will send this out probably one more time and update the weather situation because that did change from yesterday when I sent this out the first time. But that is it. So if you have questions between now and then, I appreciate if you reach out via my cell phone, which is listed on the emails. I'm not going to be on email that much from now until probably Monday or Tuesday. So feel free to reach out to me via text or phone call. And again, just realize the cell service isn't great in the park. So once, after say like 2-3 o'clock tomorrow, there might be a delayed response with me getting back with you, and that's just because of the cell service. So, okay, I think that's all we got. I'm going to load this on our Sasquatch podcast so you can listen to it if you'd like. And we're so stoked. We can't wait to see you guys tomorrow, or if you're just coming on Saturday, that's cool. Again, we would appreciate it if you are changing plans. Just drop us a note. It could be, via text or a phone call, so we know what your plans are. But that is it. Okay. Thank you again so much for tuning into this, and we can't wait to see you at Waiwayanda State Park. All right, keep it squatchy.